Okay, so in the second match in Group A in this year's Women's Euros, it's finished 8-0 to England over Norway. A record-breaking performance. It's the biggest scoreline ever recorded at a men's or women's Euros. It's the biggest half-time score ever scored in a men's or women's Euros. Records are tumbling. 8-0. Where to begin? Norway did not have a single shot on target and only 4 attempts on goal in 90 minutes. England, where do we begin? The penalty, in my opinion, is a soft decision. In the pre-VAR era, that's a 50-50, but in the VAR era, that shouldn't have been given. Doesn't stop George Stanway thumping it into the back of the net, mind. On 11 minutes. So I do agree with the studio analysts on the BBC. I think that is an incorrect decision. However, Lauren Hemp's goal was originally ruled out for offside. VAR gets it right this time. And for a left-footed player to poke that in with her and saw her feet and basically backheel that into the goal, it's a very, very good goal, but Beth Mead creates it. The two wingers were interchanging flanks, and Norway couldn't cope with that. You would see Lauren Hemp on the right, you see Beth Mead on the right, you see them both on the left, you'll see, Fran Kirby end up in a wing position at times from the attacking midfielder, deep striker position. They just could not cope. They were just ripping them to pieces. Norway were shell-shocked by the second goal on 15 minutes. They came in clusters. Ellen White scores her first of 2 on 28 minutes. And at this point, Norway don't know what's hit them. They are completely all over the place. They can't even get any passes or any penetration into the English defensive third. The English defenders are barely having to defend. They're literally having no pressure on them when they have the ball. They're allowed to start attacks, and it's always done with pace. England played the ball with pace. They moved with pace. They used the conditions to their advantage. They were making the Norwegians run around like headless chickens. There was no defensive organisation whatsoever. None. And Ellen White's first goal, she steals it from the defender, poaches it, and then goes unimpeded into the box to slot it past the goalkeeper. Beth Mead's first goal comes on 34 minutes. Great header from a Lauren Hemp cross. The second goal is individual brilliance. She's proved she's a two-footed player. Possibly, in my opinion, the best goal I've seen at this tournament so far. I haven't seen all the goals go in, but possibly the best goal I've seen at this tournament. Cuts in off her right, dribbles through the defence, makes defenders look hopeless, slots it with her left. So, two-footed player. That, I think, is the best goal of the tournament so far. Ellen White scores her second goal on 40 minutes to round out the first half. Norway were all over the place at this point, completely shell-shocked, defensively very passive. No one's picking up runs. They can't deal with the threat down the flanks. The wing backs are now getting involved. The Norwegian coach looked like a broken man. This is something that the French put down a marker, the Germans put down a marker, and England went, no, we're going to break those first half performances, those goal tallies. We're going to double what Germany did against a decent Denmark side. We're going to smash what France did against a decent Italian side, and they annihilated this Norwegian team, which is not a bad Norway side. This is a side in their first game scored 4 goals. England scored 1. And the concern was England don't score many goals in the first half. Most of their goal scoring comes in the second half. This is not the case. Now, after half time, Norway revert to a back 5. They've basically surrendered. But because they revert to a back 5, it makes there less space for the English attacking players. It means that instead of having that extra bit of width down the flanks, you've got a wider defensive line. You now have to start playing through them. It's a bit more difficult. They're trying to congest that defensive third, but Norway showed nothing going the other way. They had basically surrendered at this point. Alicia Russo's goal is a brilliant header, and just beats the defender physically. Shouldn't be happening. That's a bullet of a header. And Beth Mead gets her hat-trick on 81 minutes. And it's good follow-up play. Great follow-up play. And the wingers were acting as secondary strikers as well around Ellen White and Fran Kirby. They were swapping flanks. They were and Beth Mead's second goal is acting like a secondary striker. Her first goal is acting like the out and out centre forward with her positioning, because she's the main threat in the box for that one. All in all, a performance that I was not expecting. I was expecting a much closer game. I was expecting a much more even game. I was expecting Norway to be up for this, because group winners, most likely face Spain in the next round, although nothing is set in stone yet. Germany and Spain have obviously got to play. Finland have got to play their game as well, and they led Spain at one point. So this is a marker, though. An outstanding statement. I mean, they could have been into double figures. And the criticism of the women's game is there's some lopsided results. This is not a bad Norway side. Norway, when it comes to women's football, is a leading nation. They've won this tournament twice. They've made many finals in both World Cups and Euros. This is not a no-hoper team. This is a setup that has been a strong women's setup for over 30 years. But they were just... This happens when you actually have two very evenly matched sides, that sometimes you do get these blowout scores. How Norway respond to this against Austria is going to be key. Austria are going to be licking their lips now. This Norway side looks very vulnerable, and the mental side of the game, they look destroyed. England, they've got to keep their feet on the ground, but Northern Ireland will be wanting to at least finish with some pride intact, and will be very, very difficult opponents. But because Norway was so badly battered, Northern Ireland aren't technically out the tournament yet. And if England get ahead of themselves, Northern Ireland could become a potential banana skin. However, in their last meeting, it was a very one-sided scoreline, so I can't see that happening. And if England play like they played tonight against Northern Ireland, that could be a massive scoreline. Norway are looking vulnerable and look like they could possibly... I think Austria are playing better as a team. And the goal difference is Austria are in the driving seat now. All Austria need is a draw and they're through. So Austria are in a pole position to finish second in the group. England have qualified. England are the first side to qualify for the knockout stages, and record-breaking win. So there we go. How long that record lasts, we shall wait and see. But they now have the record for the first half goal scored in a Euros tournament, and they have the record for the overall goal scored in a Euros tournament, be it men's or women's. So how long that record lasts, we shall see how the rest of the tournament plays out in the group stage. But that was a stunning performance. I mean, I could break down every single phase of play, but I think Beth Mead's second goal is the best of the lot. And her third goal, that's just great support play. And her first goal, she was acting like a centre forward rather than a winger. So Beth Mead has destroyed Norway tonight, but was ably assisted by the other players that took part. Defensively, not challenged. Norway, I don't know where they go from here, but they look vulnerable. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will have some more videos for you very, very soon.